and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please ensure to click the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, please yes, if you're a returning subscriber, welcome to the channel. So today I have my sis.
Hello everyone, how you guys doing?
Your name?
My name is Raphael.
And I'm Rachel.
This is my elder sister, and this is my older sister and older brother. Yes, I'm the
Baby of the house.
exactly.
Baby of the house, yeah.
So, welcome to the second episode of the series titled Sickness, Death, and the Aftermath. So, in the previous episode, the first episode, I talked about like the major things that people who are sick or people taking care of sick people need. So, in respect to that, we're going to be talking about taking care of the sick. Today is going to be centered on taking care of the sick and our hospital experience. So like I said in my previous video, the period that, how do I want to explain this? My mom, her last days, she spent it mostly in the hospital. So we were in the hospital with her. So the thing is, most times when we hear that somebody is in the hospital or somebody is taking care of somebody in the hospital, we don't really know exactly, what it's like. Yes, we feel like, oh, okay, it's not just to help the person, assist the person. It's more than that too. So today we're just going to be talking, based on different points of view, how it was like and all of that. So please stay tuned. Let's get right into the video. So Raphael, please, do you mind sharing your own point of view? Like, what was it like for you? Was it traumatic?
As a patient or as
The person, we were actually the ones taking care of her. So are you in that position?
And there's a time too where all patients in the hospital too now.
We literally moved to the hospital. Honest, like for like 2 weeks or so, almost 3 weeks, there was nobody in this house. Like all of us, we moved. And remember, I told you that the hospital was like 2 hours or almost 2 hours away from our house. So there was no way we could be driving. So we all moved to the hospital.
1 hour. You mentioned 2 hours in the video.
I said 1 hour 30.
What is like 1 hour is even too much, like 45
But just because
minutes.
of the traffic and everything.
Yeah,
so
it depends on the
so
time.
2 hours is too long.
It's too
I'm
long.
going to Kaduna.
Okay, so now can you just tell us, was it exhausting? Like, just tell us your own point of view.
I think it's mentally, physically, and I think the spiritual aspect, it was exhausting. I think there was a day we actually did 16 tests.
Yeah,
I think after the test, because actually I wasn't sleeping in the hospital with them because it was like a female ward. So my sisters slept with my mom in the hospital. My dad slept in the car, so I had to find somewhere to be sleeping. I think after, and how it happens is by 8-7 I'm out of the house going to the hospital, so I'll do the normal hospital runs, the tests, the drug, whatever she needed. We were like the foot soldiers. So they were actually the ones taking care of her. I was like the errand boy. What do you need? Go about everything. So I think this particular day that we did 16 tests. When we were done, I came back.
We even had to share ourselves.
We had to divide ourselves.
That's when you know the importance of division of
That's
labor.
it.
And she was sorry to cut you, and she was really happy with that. She commended us.
I think my dad had to sit and just like he said. My dad said the way we were just moving as if we had rehearsed it.
Till date, if you meet my dad, that's his line. You'll be like, "Masu rehearsal me."
I think we had rehearsed it. Okay, you go. Like it was. I think the thing was like after that day, after I had done the normal, okay, mommy, good night, see you tomorrow. When I went to the house, I took my bath. I just fell down. I slept. Like it was. My legs were literally shaking. Well, the truth is, it wasn't easy seeing someone who you would say had never. The only thing I would have taken her to the hospital normally is possibly
normal checkups.
And what would have laid her was giving birth. But it was an up and doing woman. There are times I would be like, "Madam, rest." She'd be like, "No." So it was really exhausting mentally to seeing someone who had been a real figurehead in your life laying in bed, literally couldn't do anything. And I really give it out to the both of them, because there were some certain things as a guy I couldn't do for her because she's a woman. Even going further to the second time she was readmitted, I was still doing the food soldier, but there were some certain things like bathing her, cleaning her up and stuff. So it wasn't really easy. That's for the physical and mental part. Then the spiritual part, when you're praying, and there's little or no
Answer.
change. Like it's
even getting worse.
It keeps
every
deteriorating.
day. Every day you come and see a new thing.
It was something else. So we just had to like keep the faith and keep going and keep going and keep going until when the deed was done. And what more can we say? Like the truth is, when it happens, there's nothing more you can do. All you just have to like. What I'm really glad about is the effort we put in to take care of her, because there are messages sent to us that thank you for being there for me when I needed you the most. I think that is what gives us a bit of solace that
Yes.
at the time she needed us, we were there. From the like my auntie say, we don't need to cry because it started in our front and ended with us. Yeah, my elder sister went back to school, so my younger sister and I had to take over. And luckily, when the second phase happened again,
We're all there.
we're all around. My elder sister literally was on holiday, so she came. All of us.
I just feel like it's just divine arrangement.
Yeah.
Yes. Because in December we were all at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then March, when she was readmitted, we
were
were still
all
all
at home,
together.
so everybody was available. Yes. And one thing I just thank God is there was no disunity amongst us. Like we just joined us like and we might have our own issues, but we need to give our best for her, which would have also done if our father was in that same situation. So I'm not just saying, okay, because our mother were close to our mother. No, even if our father was in that situation, we would have given the same amount of energy. So literally, I just say, when I look back at it and I say like, I think I've gone through one of the most difficult phases in my life, because it hasn't been easy. You just have to keep a strong face, and you have to be a cause of inspiration to others. I think 3 months later, I had a friend who lost her dad. She came to our house like to console us.
Yes, I remember she was like, how you people coping?
She was just consoling us, not knowing that her own case was coming. She called us like, Raphael, so this is how it is. I said, welcome to the club. That's how I had to like console her. When I traveled for my annual leave, I had a call from a friend that his father too was in the same situation with my mom, that we had to look for someone to donate blood. When we went to play ball, when we were coming back, we got a call that he had died. So it was like an experience that it will happen to me, so I need to be a cause of inspiration to others. So that's just my take on it.
There's even this, sorry to cut you, there's this meme that says that, there's no, I'll put it, something like, you did not go through that experience for nothing.
Yeah.
And we doing this now.
It builds your character.
Yes, because now we are living testimonies.
Yeah.
I want to believe that we went through this to be able to put it out there to you guys, to actually, assist you in some way. At least now you have an idea of what people in the hospital go through. So now at least you can, be empathetic and be able to render a helping hand.
I think, sorry to also say, I think if there's one thing again I would say, the hospital it's a place that I think if you're not in the hospital, you should really
honestly, you don't know how important
we saw cases that were like really. So I
think my stay in that hospital, because I actually started staying with my mom first, because we went together when they admitted us. I think if I were to count, I would say that throughout my 2 weeks plus in that hospital, I experienced nothing less than 7 deaths.
Yeah.
Guys, it's traumatic.
Yeah, it is.
It's traumatic. Like, do you know what it means when people are crying near you? Like somebody next to you is crying. Sure. And there was one thing that happened.
It's as if the angel of death is
moving around, speaking, and you're like, praying God, I beg, no here, no the chair, I beg. So I remember one time like this, mommy was even sleeping safe. Then I think it was early hours of the morning, somebody died. In my mind, I was praying that God let her not hear, because I feel like sometimes when the sick person hears, it discourages them. It just cripples their faith. Like, yes, it's my time. Do you get? Like so sometimes you also need to be a solid rock. Before I proceed, let my sister take the floor. Your own POV. Thank you, Raphael.
Yes, just like you said, there's this saying, I'm not saying it exactly, but I'm paraphrasing, where he says you don't know how something hurts the most till you wear the shoes. That's where you know how where it hurts, where it's in the pain. Sorry, I'm just paraphrasing, but just like you rightly say, normally when people are in the hospital, it's a normal thing. And funny enough, my mom was this kind of person. When she hears anybody's in the hospital, she doesn't waste time. She'll always go and visit the person. She'll always go. Then we now being in that situation, like it just made me see life in a different light.
Like there's nothing in life.
Different light.
There's really nothing.
Being there, I just discovered that, like he said, you need to be grateful for the gift of life. and it wasn't easy. It's like, aside from you thinking about the person who is sick, you're also looking at yourself. Your own life is on hold.
Exactly.
Because your whole attention is on that person. Just like he said rightly, we were the ones, the initial admission,
2023 was on the pause.
Yes,
Everybody paused whatever was doing.
I entered into 2023 with no vision, no goals,
no
no
goal.
I did not know what
it
my
was
life.
just
Yes.
it was just pure vibes.
You know when they say Jesus take the wheel, that was it.
So pure vibes and cruise.
So going to the hospital, your life is just on hold. Then like he said, the initial time she was admitted, it was just two of us that were doing the runs. At least at that time, she could move, she could walk. She could talk. We had to just raise her up, and at some point she couldn't sleep in the night. So imagine going through all those stress, and hospital, how it can be. They'll tell you, okay, you can't sleep, you can't rest on the chair, only one person, you'll be looking for where to sit down. You're already exhausted in the daytime. Then in the night where, okay, you try to sleep, she can't sleep.
She can't sleep, and you can't
sleep. You can't sleep. So the moment she turns, one moment she's already like, please come and raise me up. And before you know it, it's already 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And the moment you just try to sleep, around 4:05, that's when they call them. The cleaners will come.
Because we used to sleep, we had a mat.
On the mat.
We sleep on the mat.
Exactly.
On the floor.
So the cleaners will just come and meet you that it's time when they want to clean. At that moment, you're already exhausted.
Having like 3 hours of sleep.
That is even up to 3 hours, because like 2 o'clock she might still be awake. 3 hours, then maybe 4 or 5, they're already waking you up that they want to clean, and you just have no choice because it's a hospital. They can't just come and start seeing people lying down there. Then most times in the afternoon, you just sit down, you're looking for a place to just rest your head, then you're thinking about her. Like, it was really, really traumatic. Like, it made me really see life, like I said earlier, in a different perspective. Like, this is what people go through. And on the issue of death, honestly, that thing was really scary. It was really scary.
So like, do you remember when there was this thing behind mommy, the bed behind mommy?
Yes.
Where one day 3 people died on that bed.
On that particular bed.
Like, one died. One died around, was it 3 a.m.? Another person died, was it around 8 a.m.? The another person died at noon. On that behind
the next one. So you can just imagine, like, is there a spirit?
The angel of death. You can just like the angel of death is literally there. He's
then
there.
Another thing I really got to understand, when you're in the hospital, I don't know if she has mentioned it, but you need to just show that love. If you hear anybody's in the hospital, just try and go and visit the person. And when you go, please don't go empty-handed.
Yes.
We were admitted at Gwagwalada, and like we rightly says, like 1 hour drive from where we stay. How were we going to cook with food? Because like we literally mentioned, we had to go and stay there because there was no way we'll be going and coming, shuttling and coming. It's far. And we don't really have our relatives there. We're just few and everything. But the good thing was that God was faithful. We were there for 2 weeks, and I can tell you that there was no day that we went without food. Food was always available, in that we had to even give out to some of the other patients. That was where I just knew that God was faithful. And there was this particular friend of ours.
Yeah, that new couple got married by December.
Yes, they just got married. The guy just got married.
Ending November, early
the guy
December.
just got married.
Really for the wife.
The guy just got married for like 3. I think his marriage was barely 3 weeks. Then the moment he heard that mommy was sick, he was like, what? He just told his wife almost every day.
I think that
until today we never met the wife.
That's the
wife.
I think Daddy had to like tell her,
Daddy had to beg him that they should be skipping days. Because they were always bringing food. Like, no, God will bless them. God bless that couple. Then other relatives that came, they brought mats. Then mommy's friend who brought clothes for her, because
when that was when we were admitted.
Yes, when mommy went, we didn't know she would be admitted.
We thought it was a test,
a normal checkup, but we didn't know she would be admitted.
Now so they give us bed.
So she didn't have clothes. So her friend close by just brought clothes for her. Like, we got lost. So that's one thing I want to put across to you. If you hear someone is in the hospital, just try to see how you can help. Now, when it comes to that issue of food, providing, you can just ask them, what do you need? If it's something within your capacity, you help. If it's money,
it's not too little.
Just try.
Then
aside the prayers, I know, okay, we're all used to the whole we'll pray and everything. Yeah, pray, but you still need that material help.
Yeah, that material thing.
It really goes a long way. It really,
you know when we even came to FMC, there was a doctor friend of ours that came with medical supplies from her residence. She said,
yes, I even forgot to speak about my previous video when I was talking about things that you can give to people in the hospital. If you're a medical personnel, or maybe you have hospital supplies that you don't need, please, and you know somebody that is admitted in the hospital, please give it to them. I remember she brought drips, she brought syringes, lots of things,
gloves, yes.
So it's
because they had to clean mommy's wound, so we needed gloves.
And you know how like for instance the second hospital we went to, that was the I think FMC Jabi, her what do they call it? The NHIS did not cover, so we were literally paying
out of pocket. It was out of pocket,
straight up, no
like,
discount and the rest.
We didn't really feel
so
anything.
Now imagine someone in that situation, and let me say you have that thing. So now if for instance they say, okay, go and buy hand gloves, go and buy this,
you know that you already
have it. Now you give it to them, that expenses is out of the equation.
You can focus on
other things.